Hey scholars, it's Miss Marnon. So I'm just going to give you a quick crash course in the standard 7.NS.1c. So this standard is all about subtracting positive and negative numbers. So we're talking about rational numbers. So it could be a fraction, a decimal, and it could be positive or negative. So this standard is all about subtracting rational numbers. So that's a big hint for when you're going to answer the assignment question in Canvas. This is about subtracting rational numbers. So the big hint I can give for you for this one is the rule leave, change, change. So leave, change just means we're going to leave the first thing, change plus or change minus to plus. So if we're subtracting, we're going to change it to adding, and then change the other number from positive to negative or negative to positive. So for leave the first number alone. First change, we're going to change minus to plus. The second change is going to be change positive to negative or negative to positive. So let's look at what that looks like. So if I have some numbers, so if I have, oops, sorry, my pen's being weird. If I have 3 minus 5, you're going to leave the 3. So I'm going to write 3 again, change this minus to plus, and change this positive 5. So this 5 by itself is a positive 5. Change it to a negative 5. So instead of doing 3 minus 5, we can do 3 plus negative 5. And we'll get negative 2. Let's try a different way. So what if I have 3 minus negative 5? So now I have minus a negative. So we're going to leave the 3 alone, change minus to plus, and this negative 5 will now become a positive 5. So now we have 3 plus 5, which is 8. So that's leave, change. The other thing we learned in that song we learned on vocabulary, you can subtract the positive. I'm going to add the negative, same thing. You can subtract the negative. I'm going to add the positive, same thing. So you can do it from the song lyrics, or the other way we can actually do this is you can type these right on your Desmos calculator. So I have the Desmos scientific calculator up. Let me zoom in. So if I want to do 3 minus 5, it'll tell me it's negative 2, or we can do 3 minus negative 5. And to type a negative on our Desmos calculator, it's the same button as the subtraction. When we're using those yellow calculators, we do have that button. It's right next to the decimal for negative. So you can also do these right on your calculator. If we're not sure, we have a calculator for everything in 7th grade. So if we're not sure, we should be using it. But I know a lot of the questions that you might look at on this, they'll have x minus y. They want you to rewrite it as x plus negative y. Or they might have something that looks like a minus negative b. You need to know that's the same as a plus b. So sometimes it's just with numbers for the standard, and sometimes it's knowing those rules that subtracting a negative is the same as adding a positive, or that adding a negative is the same as subtracting a positive. So just kind of knowing those in general are great. Ooh, didn't mean to do that line. So knowing these in general are great, but also for when we have straight numbers, we should be using the calculator to make sure we're not making any errors and making sure we're copying everything in right. Because this 3 minus 5, we had a very different answer from 3 minus negative 5. And it's just one keystroke away on our calculator. So that's it for this standard. Make sure you answer the 2 questions on this assignment. What is this standard about? I wrote it right here. And then how do you think you're going to do? So our little quiz that we have is always out of 3 questions. You think you're going to all right, 2 right, 1 right, or you really just need help with this?